Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another NR2003 Career Mode video. Here we are for the race at Kansas, and going into this race, this is the round of 10 finale, gonna be the cutoff one. And right now, Colby Howard started on pole in his number 91 Hydraulics Chevrolet Silverado for Bill McAnally. To his outside, Christian Eckes, who's pretty set on points. He's kind of right on the cut line there, but he should be okay as long as he has a good run here. Top 15, top 20. Ty Majeski, he's also one of the three. Actually, I'm pretty sure, yeah, all four Thor Sport cars are near the cut line, and that 88 car right behind Ty, he is the first car out right now by just about 50 points, so he needs to have a fantastic day here at Kansas if he wants to keep in the game. As for Dean Thompson, who's starting deep in the field all the way back in row number 11 there, you can see him there. He is in a must-win situation after not having pretty much two good races. IRP, he did not do so hot, and then last week at Milwaukee, he didn't do really good either. He scored a total of 131 points in the past two races combined. So he is in need of a magical miracle. As for us, we're starting even deeper in the field. We qualified a terrible 29th. Not a good start for our number 07 K&N Chevrolet. But I think we should get this race underway. It's going to be a long 54 lap event. So without further ado, let's get them going. Another playoff driver there, Stuart Friesen, he's locked in. He won the first race in the round at IRP. He is set most of the playoff contenders towards the front of the field except for ourselves. But the pace truck is coming off. Colby Howard, Christian Eckes leading us to the green flag here. Good start for Chandler Smith there in that 18 machine. And Majeski, he's looking for a gap on the inside here. 3 wide already for the race lead. Turn 1, lap 1. And Ty Majeski, he's going to lead him out of turn number 2. Majeski pulling away like 5 or 6 car lengths here. So 3 wide again. Christian Eckes falling through the field here as Matt Crafton holding it in the middle there. He is going to move to the inside of Parker Kligerman, trying to hold on to a top 10 position. It's all side by side throughout the entire field right now. Ben Rhodes on the inside of Tyler Ankrum. These guys are fighting for the top 15 position in here. A little check up there by the 99. That's going to allow Ankrum to get a nice run out of turn number 4. And he's going to have the position at the line here. And as for us, oh, let's go on board here. Currently, we're still trying to work our way up through the field as we sit just outside the top 15. We have a little bit of a problem there We slide way up the track. It put 3 wide, almost turning Grant and Fainer there. So our race at Kansas so far going pretty good. Could have been going a little bit better if we didn't nearly just wreck there. We're way up the track again, trying to get some grip. We're struggling with the grip in this thing right now. Just can't keep it straight. Jordan Anderson trying to get around that 22 for 17th position on this track right now. Right now, from what I've seen, we're the only truck that has made that outside lane work, as we're looking to get into a 4-car battle here for 13th through, yeah, just 13th, I guess. Almost sliding up into Ben Rhodes. We'll get around the 23 and the 99, former teammates just a couple seasons ago. We'll go up to 14th now. And the bubble driver, Matt Crafton, starting to slip down the leaderboard, not having the day that he needs to have if he wants to stay alive in this season championship points-wise. 3 wide in front of him. Christian Eckes, Tanner Gray, Chase Purdy. And it looks like Eckes is slowly starting to make his way back up after starting second. And the race looks like he's going to be about 9th or 10th here now. About 4.5 seconds back of the race leader, though. Zane Smith, Stuart Friesen going at it. Zane Smith, he's had a pretty quiet year, 2 wins in the middle of the season at Kansas and North Wilkesboro. And outside of that, he hasn't had really like flashy racing here, but he's been pretty consistent. Top 10s here, top 5s here and there. But battling for the win right now, it's down between Chandler Smith and Ty Majeski so far here on lap number 10. Chandler Smith in the 18 Safelite Toyota Tundra, and Ty Majeski in the 66 Cincinnati Toyota Tundra. Both truckers have had pretty good years. Chandler Smith, 2 wins this season. Ty Majeski got that 1 win at Pocono, which honestly is the only reason he's in the playoffs right now, but he has proven he is going to be able to take his season to the next level here. So he's battling for the race lead here on lap 10. Almost got to the inside of Chandler Smith there. So right now we're going to go ahead and check up on our star driver. It's a little further back here, just outside of the top 10 right now. There he is. Currently sitting 14th still. Seems like progress is kind of plateaued here. He was moving through the field pretty well through the first 10 laps. But now here's when the car drivability issues just started to come in, and they were coming fast. It was hard to keep the thing really straight. As you can see, huge dive bomb into 1 and 2. Somehow made it stick, gained 2 spots in the process, and a lot of enemies as well. And then once again into turn 3, we try our best to keep it off the 88, but we end up dooring him. It puts us up the track, no fault of his. We're just trying to get up through the field. We have a fast truck, but with us pushing this much, we're wearing our tires out a lot faster than we really should be. And just absolutely annihilated the 15. Didn't realize he was going to stay up that high. Through the corner, thought we were going to be able to have a bit of a lane there to just hold it, but we in fact did not. Right now, Stuart Friesen battling Christian Eckes here on the outside. Not going to work for him, and in fact, we're going to give him some attention there on the bottom. Almost made some contact there out of turn number 4, but our car is just so tight on exit, we can't make any ground up. But we end up getting him in the rear a little bit there. We'll be okay. Colby Howard's still holding on to a top 10 run right now in his Bill McAnally 91. He's had a couple of good runs this season, surprisingly, and here he is running top 10, along with Stuart Friesen, Christian Eckes, ourselves. And he's going to slide down to 7th here on the leaderboard. And here comes the Eckes machine and Friesen and ourselves. We're still trying to battle the tight car, and we decide, call over the crew chief, let's get this thing loosened up a bit on the long run. 14 laps in, it is so tight, it is undrivable. But later on, we end up taking back that call because we deeply regretted it. Chandler Smith still dominating here, 15 laps into the race here at Kansas Speedway. Don't really know what else to expect. It's been a clean race. We're up to 9th right now. Still trying to move our way up towards the front of the field in hopes we get a good finish to carry in to the next round of the playoffs, which is going to kick off at Bristol. And Bristol, if you guys remember, we did not have a very good run there. We qualified top 10, top 5, and we just, oh man, the car was just so loose. We couldn't manage it, but I'm hoping with what we've learned over the course of the season, we can have a good run at Bristol, because honestly, we'll have to probably win Talladega if we don't do good at Bristol, because it's either we make the Final Four now or we don't race the next, I don't know, but I mean, we're in crunch time now with only 4 races left in the season. We got to start picking up our performance a bit more. We've had some pretty good runs the past few races, but we need to make sure we're just a lot better than what we already were. I mean, in the past couple of races alone, we've gotten 2 wins, second, thirds, top 5s, which is the most consistent we've been all season, so we're kind of starting to peak here. It might be a little too early, but we'll just have to find out. Eckes and Smith, these two were just going at it basically the entire race. I just remember seeing those two side by side. It was either those two or Eckes and Friesen, honestly. They're always together. 18 laps into the run now. Our truck is just terrible, man. Getting to the back of Zane Smith there. We keep it straight. We're down in the grass. We lose all of the spots that we just had. So right there you can see our truck is just not handling as well as it should be here. So we got Crafton on our outside almost, along with Ben Rhodes just behind us here. So we're trying to start working our way back up to where we were, to get up close to Ankrum, but we just can't drive off the corner. You can see the truck is plowing tight and it's just loose as well. Barely turning the car to make the entry. You can see we're turning right on exit here, all but just to not slip it out and wreck here. Just trying our best to hold on to her as Ankrum moves into, trying to get 11th at least. Colby Howard still top 10 right now. Will he be able to hold on to it? I honestly have my doubts. He's not that great on the long run. No offense to him. He's definitely trying his best here, but I mean, you'll never know what happens. But I mean, right now the 18 is just still leading the way here. He's not really pulling away from Ty Majeski. Majeski's definitely keeping it nice and close here. 2 drivers who are definitely the championship favorites. Same with Christian Eckes with his 15, not 15, but he got the regular season title. Now he hasn't won a race yet this season. He has been the most consistent driver in the league. So we'll have to see what that 98 can do. They're definitely going to have to kind of step it up a little bit more. These top 10s aren't going to get them into the round of 4 probably. Because right now, I mean, Stuart Friesen, Ty Majeski, Chandler Smith, and maybe even Grant Infant are probably the favorites to win it here, or at least get into the round of 4. And there we go. We have another issue there, very loose, right in front of the 15 of Tanner Gray. Just not good for us. Car is just all over the place right now. Our tires are really worn. And I believe around lap 24-25 we get the notification that, hey, your right front tire is wearing out. And sure enough, I look at it, as you see we're drifting out of turn 2. I look at it and we have got to come down pit road because it was on red and it was about to just completely blow up. Corey Heim, who's had a pretty quiet season as well, currently 13th in the point standings, has a best finish of second at Daytona. He hasn't really, I don't think he's finished in the top 10 outside of Daytona and Atlanta, or Daytona, Las Vegas. I mean, either way here, this is when we make our pit stop here. So we try to keep it down, but we just nearly get turned off the front bumper of Ben Rhodes. But no, we don't make our stop now, but definitely within the coming laps. So we're currently sitting 15th or 14th now, I believe, just not having a good long run truck, in hopes that we eventually find something. So we'll get to the inside of Matt Crafton, but again, we just cannot get up off the turn, and we are just so freaking tight. Now we're taking the defensive lane on the inside, making some contact with the 88 there. 2x2 out of turn 4. And we're going to cut off Ben Rhodes there just because we're just that guy. But right now the gap between first and second staying within a quarter of a second, so those guys know what they're doing big time. So once again drifting out of turn 2 almost. Now I got Ben Rhodes on our inside. We're going to slam the door on him. We're bringing it down pit road this time for sure. I mean, we're sliding way up the track. We had to cut off Ben Rhodes so we could make it. We're loose. We were all over the place going into pit road here. But what we needed were a couple adjustments, some fresh Goodyear tires, and that is exactly what we did now. So we'll see here in a bit, the leaders, Chandler Smith, Ty Majeski, they're going to come around, put us a lap down. And they'll almost put us 2 laps down here as they cross the line to start lap 28 here. We're just past halfway in the race now. And so far the race has been pretty uneventful. A couple of close calls here and there, but no cautions. It's been clean for the first half. And hopefully the second half does the same. Chandler Smith still dominating the race. Clay Greenfield, he's currently last place. Outside of us, we just had to pit early because we had literally no tires to go here, and we'll start making our way out. We'll get out just in front of Jason White here, I do believe. Actually, there's a pretty big gap between us. Not sure when the AI actually started making their pit stops here. So I know it was a couple laps after we did, because I mean we just couldn't make any more laps or else our tires would have just blown up. And I definitely think John Hunter Nemechek is the biggest disappointment of this season. Missed the playoffs and is currently 10th in points, or well, I think it was like 11th or so. Not sure where he is. Yeah, it would have been 11th, but then yeah. But right now, he is definitely doing pretty good. Top 3 here at Kansas. Just what he needs to kind of fill in that void of a very no good season, basically. I mean, no wins to his name. But running 3rd right now, looking pretty good for that number 4 machine. And Stuart Friesen as well. He's had a win this season. Just a couple of races ago, he got his first win at IRP. Locked him into the round of 8 now. He's got to get another win if he wants to make it into the championship 4. And honestly, I think he very well could be capable of doing so. And we very well could also have a upset winner at Talladega. I mean, that's the biggest wild card track on the schedule for sure. It's all just a matter of timing, you know? As long as you make your move at the right time, the right place, in the closing laps at Talladega, you are going to be golden. Now, I know usually we do just me racing on these career mode videos, but you know what? I decided to do something a little different here, so this time we're going with the post-race commentary. Watching this battle here for 3rd. It's definitely thinned out over the last couple of laps, you see a couple cars on pit road. Corey Heim, one of them, you can see us bumping Lawless Allen out of the way. We were having a really hard time with traffic. Our car was even looser than it was the first time around. So somehow we kind of went backwards here. So good job us, you know. Just blow the doors off of Jack Wood and get right to the inside of Lawless Allen. And we'll blow by him. Now we aren't passing for position yet. We are still pretty deep in the running order here. Actually, yeah, we're still dead last, so we don't have a whole lot to really be searching for. As you can see, Corey Heim is just up ahead of us, and he was ahead of us prior to pit stops. However, he was way higher, way further than he was the first time around, so we were actually running really good pace here. And as you can saw, fastest lap, we had top 10 speed for sure, but we just could not make that top 10 speed and last an entire run, as the rest of the field coming out of pit road, some of them going in. Chandler Smith wins the race off of pit road big time over Ty Majeski. It looks like he actually got caught up on the 98 there when he was coming out. Now we'll move up to where we were, wherever that is. I just saw us, but Matt Crafton trying to win this race right now. He needs to really get moving here. He needs to apply the jets big time. There we are, sitting inside the top 15 at this point. And once pit stop cycle, we would be back inside the top 10 here. So we gained back some of the ground we lost under a green flag, and then a little bit of some. I think the highest place we ever ran the entire night was 9th, and that was during this run and a little earlier on. But right now, Chandler Smith has 2 cars behind him. Or is it just one? No, it's just one. It's just Clay Greenfield right now, so he's got a little bit of room to work with here. These two, John Hunter Nemechek, Stuart Friesen, still battling for 3rd. It looks like they might be pulling up on the 66 of Majeski. They might be faster than him right now. But we'll never know, as we got this about 5-car pack here, just kind of cruising along. I'm actually trying to pass these guys, being a little more aggressive than I really should have, knowing that my car sucks in the long run. Shouldn't have been pushing here, and despite all of that, I still was. We still had like 20 laps to go. Well, less than 20, but still around 20 laps to go, and I'm over here pushing like it's the last lap. But definitely probably should have taken it more slowly, more passive. But hindsight 2020, you live and learn. So here comes Parker Clearman with a run on the 23, it looks like. That 75 truck has had some okay pace at some of the tracks. As he's going to shoot to the inside now, looking for 5th, and he'll take that spot. But at the same time, Kligerman he's had a lot of bad luck as well. I mean, we talk about bad luck, but 12th in the standings in your first full-time year with a truck that isn't really all that good is really, really solid, honestly. Zane Smith, he's catching up to us pretty quickly as well, so I'm starting to worry that once we get closer to the end of this thing, we're just going to start losing a ton of positions. We're probably going to fall outside the top 15, honestly. There's Timmy Hill. He had a pretty decent race for his standards, honestly. Currently running 14th. Carson Hocevar, he way missed the playoffs big time. He's had a pretty terrible season, in all honesty. Right now, we got the 19 of Derek Kraus in front of us. And then the 38 of Zane Smith. We'll go ahead and go back on board here. Uh-oh. Alright, so yeah, that happened. And I was like, okay, I'll get up out of the racing line, and then I didn't. Okay. Was not expecting there to be cars in that top groove, and that literally killed our engine. And it looks like we had some more trouble. I didn't get a chance to look at what all happened afterwards either, so. A couple of cars race were ended. Austin Wayne Self, who had made contact with us, his race ended. And pretty much from that, all that really happened afterwards was we had the restart, the 18 pulled away, and then there was nothing else to really be said. The 66 Majeski gave it all he had, but when it was all said and done, Chandler Smith did get the win. So with the race complete, you can get a brief overview of the finishing results there on the ticker. But the 18 Chandler Smith did end up winning the race. He led 52 of 54 laps. I think that's where the replay cuts off. Ty Majeski, he came home second. Stuart Friesen, John Hunter Nemechek, Parker Kligerman, your top 5 after race numbers 19, I believe. And so with that, guys, I would like to bring this episode of the NR2003 Career Mode to an end. But first, let's take a look at the points. As you can see here on your screen, Ben Rhodes will be your points leader going into Bristol, since the points will be reset. With his 4 wins this season, he will have a 15-point advantage above the cut line, and so will we. Chandler Smith, Christian Eckes, 10 points above the cut line right now. And then Stuart Friesen, Ty Majeski, Grant Enfinger, and Zane Smith, all tied with 5 extra bonus points. Matt Crafton, he will be 9th after Kansas. Nemechek moves back into 10th. And as for poor old Dean Thompson, he's all the way back in 24th position. So he did not have a pretty good race at all. He got 91 whole points. Now we're gonna go ahead and move on to the winners updates. So that was Chandler Smith's 3rd win of the season. That comes at Kansas. He's been on a pretty good tear recently. So you have the full list of drivers, the track they most recently won at on your screen, and we'll see you guys at the next track, which is going to be at Bristol Motor Speedway for the first race in the round of 8. And I'll see you guys in the next episode. Peace.